After you subscribe, do not forget to hit that notification button so you can stay up to date with our latest videos. Enjoy!
What is up, guys? It's your boy Victor with Thank You Gaming, and today we're gonna look at the highly anticipated Ikoria cards. Now, I don't have most of them. Oh, before we continue, if you haven't done so yet, go to play. Make sure you enter that Premier Draft Ikoria. Everybody had a free entry today, so make sure you go out there, get some cards like I did. If you see my cards, we're about to see my collection. Alright, come on. Standard, and then you go here. Go Ikoria. And these are my cards that I have right now. And this was all that draft, and I had some coins that I was able to buy some booster packs as well. But we're here not for this, but I'm sure you guys are wondering which cards are the mythic rare. Now we're about to see those. So we're gonna go not collected and mythic rares. We're gonna go one by one. And there's some some interesting ones out there, guys, and we're just gonna go through them. And yeah, so let's start off. So first we have Luminous Moth. I think this card right here is going to be a little bit cheese, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's a flying, so already not that many people run flying on their decks. So you have flying, he stays out there long enough, he's gonna rack up damage, and with the whole mutate mechanic, unbelievable. So it says, whenever a creature you control without flying dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a flying counter on it. Now, Ikoria, one of the mechanics that they have is counters. So you know how those enchantment auras or those enchantments or instants that gave a creature like trample until end of turn, or if it's an aura, it gives it a plus something counter, and it gives them lifelink or anything like that. Well, this time around creatures have counters that they can give to any other target creature that you have. So when any creature dies, let's say you have Ajani's primate, or you have that vampire, the 1/1 death touch lifelink. When it dies, it comes back to the field every single time. No, there's only one time. I'm sorry. It comes back to the field, into the battlefield with flying. So now you have a 1/1 death touch lifelink flying. So that's a little bit of power in my opinion, but this is a good card right here, and I like it. So moving on, we have this one of the new planeswalkers, and it's Luca. But this guy's a little bit the majority of the cards are interesting in this Ikoria. There's a lot of things, a lot of new mechanics that you can add into your current standard deck, and it's gonna be unbelievable. So what he does is exile the top 3 cards of your library, and creature cards exiled this way gain, you may cast this card from exile as long as you control. So you can exile as many cards from your library as long as Luca is available, and you can cast that spell from exile whenever you want. So as long as you control Luca, of course. If your opponent sees that and they let you do that, and all of a sudden Luca is out, you will keep those cards exiled. It's his -2 is pretty awesome. It says exile target creature you control, then reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card with higher converted mana cost. Put that card into the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library at random order. So you keep those cards in the library, but you exile a creature you control. So if you know what's in your deck, and let's say you have a 3 mana cost that you're like, you know what, it did its purpose, let's go get the big boys, but I don't have the mana. Let's say it's a 7 or an 8 or a 9 mana flyer, and you're like, you know what? I don't have it, so I'm gonna -2 Luca. I'm gonna sacrifice this creature. I'm gonna go get that other creature with a higher mana cost, and I just put it in the battlefield. And you know the rest. If you went through your library a lot, then you put in your library. So it's pretty much you're looking for that creature and you're shuffling it. You shuffle in your library, and then we have, oh sorry, which is pretty awesome. So if you are smart enough and you have some creatures that you know they do some abilities when they exit the battlefield, you can have some synergy there, or one of those creatures that you can cast once again from the exile. So you know those adventures or those creatures that have escape, you can go ahead and return them. You wouldn't be losing. So you got a free card from your library, high mana cost, into the battlefield for free. And the last one is each creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. So let's say you have 3-4 creatures. They're 4/4s. That's 12 damage that you're dealing straight to your opponent. If you're smart enough to keep Luca, and all you have to do is keep him pretty much for 2 turns. The one time that you cast them, so you can do that +1 and do it one more time. And if they allow you to even be in the 3rd time, you do it so you can keep them. Unbelievable. Moving on. Vivian, Monsters Advocate. So another planeswalker. We know Vivian, she's not new, but you may look at the top card of your library. Anytime you may cast creature spells from the top of your library. So pretty much at any time in the game, kind of like Flash or Instance, look at the card, and if it's a creature card, I'm assuming, you can go ahead and pay the mana cost, and you can go ahead and cast them. But it has to be creature cards, I'm sorry. So it's not any card. But still, you have a heavy creature deck. This is awesome. +1, create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Put your choice of vigilance, counter, reach, or trample. So you get to choose every +1, which is crazy. A 3/3 beast, if you want it, it could have vigilance, or reach, or trample. So you choose. This time you choose what you want. And then the -2 is pretty much when you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser converted mana cost, put it on the battlefield. So if you decide to cast a 4 mana creature, you -2 Vivian before you do it. So remember, it has to be in order. Remember the stack. So you do the Vivian first, you cast your spell, you look for the other creature. So in other words, you're casting pretty much 2 creatures for the price of 1. And this works if you don't have any more cards or anything could happen, and this definitely will work. Then we have General Kudro of Dranith. It's a legendary creature human. You see right there what he does. I stayed in the Planewalkers because they were interesting. Some of these cards, you can pause the video and you can definitely look at them yourself. This one right here is other humans you control get a +1/+1 counter. Whenever General Kudro of Dranith or another human enters the battlefield under your control, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. So pretty much, you sacrifice 2 humans, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. So that's interesting right here. Then you have Rael, the Everwise. Interesting card as well. Then right here we have Shovel, Bane of Monsters. Oh, interesting. Let me read this one. At the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponents control no permanents with bounty. Ooh, there's another one. Bounty counters on it. Then put a bounty counter on a target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Whenever a permanent an opponent controls with a bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and draw a card. Oh wow, that's crazy, because if they have a lot of creatures, that's a lot of life when those creature dies. And then you draw a card. Then you have Fiend Artisan, creature nightmare, and the long-awaited Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I was looking at the cards and it's pretty nice. Trample, lethal damage dealt to creatures you control is determined by their power rather than their toughness. So lethal damage dealt to creatures you control. It's an interesting card. Interesting card. And moving on, we got Wynota, Joiner of Forces, legendary creature human, 4/4. We have Keenan, legendary creature human droid. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type of that permanent produce. Also, it's pretty much the same thing what a druid does. So moving on. So as you see, there's not that many for now. That many cards that are mythic rare. So the interesting about this is you only have what? Yeah, 10, 16 mythic rares, which means these cards, if you happen to get them in a booster pack that costs you $3, you're definitely gonna get your money's worth. And of course, if you have the bundle and you get 4 of these, you got your money's worth also. So it's, these cards, I believe that these cards are also going to be an interesting investment option for most of you guys. Of course, don't go crazy out there with the times that we're on. It's best to save money and be wise with it. So this guy right here, Snapdax, Apex of the Hunt. Ooh, fancy. Legendary creature dinosaur. Double strike. And he has mutate. So let's remutate real quick. If you cast a spell for its mutate cost, so when you're about to cast it, you can either do a creature and put it. Now, what I found out, and maybe it's the game's mechanics, or I need to do more research on this, but for what I find out, if you cast the creature and you don't cast it as a mutate, you can't go back and do the mutate, even though it's on its abilities. So it's either or. So if you cast a spell for its mutate cost, put it under or over target non-human creature you own. So it's pretty much animals mutating. You can have humans, and the reason it's over and under is so that order only matters for the power and toughness. So let's say I have a 1/1 with mutate, and I have a 4/4 non-human creature. If I mutate, I'm putting that 1/1 on the bottom because I want the 4/4. But the cool thing about mutate is the names, those cards are all the names. So let's say I have a legendary creature dinosaur, and then I have a vampire nightmare. Now it's a legendary creature vampire nightmare dinosaur cat. And all the abilities go into one. So one ability is like every time you gain life or death touch, trample, it all adds up and it becomes one creature. So that's what mutate is. And whenever this creature mutates, it deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker and opponent controls, and you gain 4 life. So this is pretty good. Moving on, we have Iluna, Apex of Witches. So we got Apex of the Hunt, Apex of Witches. Flying trample 6/6, a 5 mana cost. That's actually not bad, especially it's flying. If you do one of those, that creature, that blue mana creature, that is a flyer that said it costs 1 less for flyers, this card will potentially be a 3 mana 6/6 flying trample. But the mutate is 6 mana. But whenever this creature mutates, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land permanent card. Put that card onto the battlefield or into your hand. So whenever this creature mutates, so you pay the mutate cost and you put another creature. So this is the cool thing about when you mutate the card. It gives you some abilities, but whenever you mutate the card, you can go ahead and exile every card at the top card of your library until you find a non-land permanent. You can put it in your hand or you can put it in the battlefield. So imagine if you find another mutate. Oh man, this is just gonna get ridiculous. Then we have with this Apex of stuff. Nethroi, Apex of Death. Legendary creature, Kite Nightmare. Death Touch lifelink. Whenever this creature mutates, return any number of target creature cards with total power 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oof. This guy, Vadrok, Apex of Thunder. Alright, so Apex of Thunder. Flying, first strike, mutates. Now, it's a low cost. Whenever this creature mutates, you may cast target non-creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard without paying the mana cost. And lastly, we have Brockos, Apex of Forever. Actually, I'm missing a Planeswalker. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave that one last because I actually like that one. It's Trample. So, you may cast... Oh. You may cast Brockos Apex. Oh, okay. So, you see, so the mutate ability... So this card is pretty awesome because you don't have to mutate it to lose the if you cast a spell as a creature, you don't lose the mutate because when it's in your graveyard, you can go ahead and mutate, and then whatever creature you have becomes this nightmare of a creature elemental with trample on it. So that's crazy. And lastly, we have Narset of the Ancient Way. This card I look for. If you want to pre-order this card by itself, I believe is in the I think it was $15. So let's say you buy a booster and you get this. You already have $15. And I think the boosters are going to be $3 if you go to your local gaming store. I'm not sure. But this one right here is a legendary Planeswalker. It's a 3-color legendary Planeswalker. Unfortunately, you can't use it as the commander because it doesn't have the text for that. But you gain 2 life. So the +1, you gain 2 life. So right there, it already shows you're getting 2 life. And then you can add a blue, red, or white mana. And you can only spend this to cast a non-creature spell. So an enchantment, a sorcery, an artifact, an instant. Any of those, you can use this to cast it. Is pretty much an extra mana, but I think this one is +1 is more for the you gain 2 life. Now, the -2 is draw a card, then you may discard a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, Narset of the Ancient Way deals damage equal to that card's converted mana cost to target creature or planeswalker. This right here is the crazy one. Because you're going to draw a card and then you may discard a card. So let's say you have a super high mana cost in your hand and you don't have much mana to cast it. You know you're not going to be able to cast it. And you know it's going to go to your graveyard. Then discard it. And it deals damage equal to the card's converted mana. So it could be, let's say you have one of those artifacts. The ones that have, you know, the 9 or 10 mana. You're dealing 10 damage to any target creature or planeswalker. This is huge for when, you know, end game, when they have those big creatures and you have no answer, or they have those annoying planeswalkers like this one actually, and you can go ahead and destroy it. So the last one is you get an emblem with, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this emblem deals 2 damage to any target. So it's interesting because this one, you see what blue, which, you know, has a lot of instants and a lot of sorceries, a lot of flash, so is a non-creature spell. Then you have red with the dealing damage to any target, to planeswalker creatures, and then you have the gain life, which is pretty much a white mana ability, and you have all 3 in this. So if you have your mind set on this character, you know that you need, you know, creatures like a Johnny's Primate to get gain 2 life. And, you know, it pumps up, you know, unsummon, shock, you know, cards like, common cards like that, you know, are going to be instants and sorceries and enchantments and creatures that benefit from gaining life, things like that, or creatures that benefit from, you know, you get counters like that Cutthroat card, that blue mana card, you know, things like that, to, you know, have that synergy working. Now in MTG Arena, of course, there's not much synergy that needs to be done to actually be good. It's based on luck pretty much, but you know, in real life, in tournaments, you know, it's good to have a good synergy type of deck. I see a lot of decks with, cars over 60, in the 200s, 300 range, and I'm like, listen, I'll take the challenge of making a 60 card deck and making it good enough that it runs well and the synergy works well. I see that more of a challenge than putting as many cards as I can, and hopefully I get lucky. Anyways, guys, it's a little rant at the end. I apologize, but yeah, there you guys have it. That's all the mythic rares that Ikoria has. If you guys want to see the rares, let me know. Leave a comment in the section below, and I'll do that. If you guys enjoyed this video as well, leave a comment in the section below and let us know any other questions you guys have about Ikoria, MTG Arena, anything you guys want to see, let me know. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Twitch, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy your day. This is your boy Vic38, and he's out. Deuces.
Thank you so much for tuning in and watching our video. Please share it, leave a like, and if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel. But more important, guys, head over to twitch.tv/thankyougaming99 and go follow us on our Twitch. Make sure you put that notification on so you make sure when we are live and when we're streaming, so you guys can join us and have fun with us. Hope you guys enjoyed everything. Thank you so much. Deuces.